This is fun. This is the opposite of where I was last week. I was in Portland, Oregon last week. Very fun place, the opposite of here. It's my first time here. I don't even know that. I was in Portland, and I got off the train. I took the train in from Seattle, got off the train, and there was a girl who I hope was on drugs. You ever meet someone like that where you're like, ooh, I hope that's not permanent. I hope that was a decision, and you're having a great time while the rest of us are mortified. She was like doing this on a street pole, just rubbing on it like a bear trying to get an itch or something, just like this. And as I'm walking by, she goes, "You look like Jesus." That's what she said. And I said, "Thank you." And I kept walking, because you don't stop for that. You keep walking, maybe even pick up the pace a tad. And as I'm walking by, she goes, "Throw me a blessing, Jesus." I can't let my children down, so I wanted to throw her a blessing. What if this is a big moment in her life? But I didn't know how. I don't know how to throw a blessing, so I just did the first thing that came to mind and just went, "You got it." That's how I threw my first blessing ever. I just pointed at her and said, "You got it." You know, just like Jesus would have done. I'm sure that's how he did it back in the day. Came into town, someone's like, "Help this blind man." "You got it." "Colors." That's how he worked his magic. That's good. I'm married, in case that was a question. I have a wife. We have a regular married life. We sleep on a memory foam mattress. That's what we sleep on at home. That is a married person's mattress. It's memory foam. That mattress is made for sleeping and sleeping only. That is, do not do anything else on that mattress. Not made for that. It's not why scientists came together to make that mattress. It's made for resting comfortably, and that's it. I know that because I've tried. Try having sex on it. It's the worst. It's like trying to have sex in quicksand. It sucks. You get one thrust and you both just start sinking in. Just stay calm, baby. It makes it worse. Just stay calm. I'm calling the cat over. We need help, Jessica. I have a cat named Jessica. That's a high-end mattress, the memory foam mattress. That's an expensive mattress. I don't make that kind of money. This is why we have the mattress. My mother-in-law lives in Palm Springs, and an old guy died. And that's the whole story. We got his memory foam mattress. It's the circle of life. That's how things work. It's work their way around. It's not creepy. He never got to sleep in it. He bought it, never got to open it, and passed away. It's not like I have some creepy, haunted mattress at home. It's new. It's brand new. But it did make me feel bad for him, because that meant this old guy died in, like, an uncomfortable mattress. Probably having to stare at the world's most comfortable mattress, like, in the corner. And he's like, "I should really call my grandson over to open the... Oh! And now I have weird sex on it. That's how that works. It's a Wednesday night. How's it going? We're at the mall on a Wednesday. How are you? That was very polite. Some people wooing, some people clapping. This lady just politely waving. Hello. Hi, how are you? Yes, I have the most kind audience members at all of my shows. They're like, woo, yeah. Hi, there you are. So good. Thank you guys so much for coming out. One more time for all the comics you've seen tonight. Make it loud for them. Yeah. So good to be here. I love performing at this mall. This is the nicest mall to perform at. Trust me, I perform at malls all over the country, and most of them look closed. And not this one. This one looks like malls used to look. It's like we stepped back into 1985, and we're like, whoa! Feels good. Feels energized, you know? Because then there's the rest of Irvine, which is just corporate offices for businesses you used to go to. It's so weird. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I remember BlackBerry. Oh, that's where they do their taxes. All right. And you're like, oh my God, a Taco Bell? Corporate? All right. That means there's like an office somewhere with just documents of how many chalupas they sold. 2023. Some guy over there going, I gotta keep up with these chalupa sales. I'm an accountant on Tex-Mex. That's why I like Irvine. I like what you guys got going on. Everything's curated. Everything. Your HOA is on point. No one's going wild with the painting of their houses. Everything's. You got it down to about 3 swatches. No one's hanging up basketball hoops. There's none of that here. You guys got a stiff HOA board out here. Manicured lawns. No one has a relative in an RV. There's none of that going on over here. I like that. You guys are running a tight ship. I appreciate that. Running a tight ship. Day before Thanksgiving, trying to have some fun, right? Before you gotta sit down with the family. Yeah? I love Thanksgiving. It's the best one. It's a holiday. It's all about the food. No gifts. No gifts. You don't have to pretend to say thank you. You don't have to go, oh, how'd you guess? You know, none of that. You can just be like, more. Please feed me more. None of that. All you have to do is shut up. That's all you have to do. Just smile. It's the best holiday. God, I love it. It's good to be here. I flew in from New York today. I flew in, into San Diego. Should have flown closer. Flew to San Diego, got a rental car, and I'm like, what have we done? I think I forgot how long that drive is. From San Diego to here is somewhere between an hour to 6 hours, depending on where everyone is headed on that certain holiday. Man, that drive north, everyone's headed south. Like it's, remember that movie The Day After Tomorrow where the world's ending? And everyone's just heading south like, oh, it's freezing up here. And I'm like, I think we're going the wrong direction. The end of the world is coming from that away. We're hitting it head on. Yeah, flying this time of year. It's the time of year where everyone that doesn't fly, flies. And it's so noticeable out there. You're like, what? Last week I got doused with a bottle of Dr. Pepper from a lady who was putting her bag on I had the aisle seat, and she was putting a bag on the overhead. And it's 5 in the morning. I'm like, why is it raining right now? And I look up and there's a liter, but just. And I was like, I think you got a leak there. And she's like, oh no, my Dr. Pepper. You know? Man, drinking Dr. Pepper on a 5 a.m. flight too. Like, I just looked at her, I'm like, man, I hope you didn't forget to lock your storage unit before you left this morning. You're drinking Dr. Pepper at 5 in the morning, you live in a storage unit. You have a YouTube channel about living in that storage unit. I like the chuckles in Irvine, because you guys have too much money to laugh too hard at that. You gotta laugh in between. Well, you know. It's that in-between chuckle. Doused me with Dr. Pepper. And then today, everyone on my flight was extremely elderly. There's nothing wrong with that. That's nice. That shows love. They're in their later years, and people aren't coming to visit them. They're like, ship him in. Hey, should we go visit Grandpa? Half his body doesn't work. No, fly him out. We'll bump him up to economy. Like. You know how many old people I watched boarding the flight this morning? I was like, what? And there's one elderly man. I'm not making fun. I am, but I'm not. But it's from a place of love. Really, I'm mad at the family that owns this elderly person. What are you doing, shipping this old man across? Go visit him. He's elderly. He had to use the bathroom like 100 times, and each time he got up, and I'm like, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna. And each time, you ever watch someone go to the bathroom and then they close the door, and I'm like, yeah, but then what's going on in there? What's gonna happen then? Yeah. It's irresponsible. Go visit your family. Don't ship them out like they're an Amazon package, Go visit Grandpa in New York. He lives in New York. That's where you're going to spend Christmas. You guys hush. You're like, that was our grandfather. We shipped him out. I had a nice elderly woman behind me on the flight, and she didn't know how the touchscreen wasn't working for her in the headrest, so she just made sure to jab the hell out of that. That was a 5.5-hour flight, and I'm just over there like, it's the holidays. You have to let it go. It's Thanksgiving, The Native Americans and the Pilgrims came together. They were able to set their differences aside. Come on, it's the holiday season. Pumpkin spice lattes. 5.5 hours. Reminding myself not to yell.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour, so go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.
Wow. Now it feels like a meeting, all right? The head poobah is here. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with the next. Oh wow, there's so many people. The fire marshal doesn't know about this. I didn't realize how many people were jammed on to the left. You're like, whoa, wow, okay. I hope nobody has to pee ever in that area. I like it. This is my first time here, the Attic Comedy Club, and I like it when comedy clubs have a name that's spot on. There's no surprises. You're like, we're going to the attic. There will be stairs, all right? I hope no one showed up and went, stairs? Really? It should have been a dead giveaway. This is wonderful. This is my first, I don't know this neighborhood. It looks like you guys are trying to decide which way you're going to go with it. I don't know, I'm not here to judge. I just did a couple laps. I'm like, yeah, okay, whoa, all right, yeah. It's very, like the mayor just kind of went, I don't know, man, whatever. Just do what you feel. So it's good. I've been to Columbus before. I think I did a show at a church. I think that's where it was, the Rivers Crossing Church, maybe. It's like a big ass church. And that's not how it was advertised on Google. It's big. It was very big. I was surprised. And I think that was in Columbus or just outside. But it's good. You guys are named after Christopher, probably. Maybe. I love that you don't know. I love that. You guys are like, are we? He just checked with his wife. He's like, are we? Is that? Is it Christopher? There's also a Philip, isn't there? Good old Philip Columbus. He's the first one to bring agriculture to Ohio. Good old Philip. I like Christopher. Wait, I forget how we feel about him. You guys ever do that? You ever remember someone from history and you're like, wait, did he get canceled after death? If you get canceled 500 years later, that's, you did your best. For what? If they didn't know for 500 years, and then they're like, wait a second. He was the guy that found out the Earth was round, 500 years ago. And then up until 10 years ago, someone with a YouTube page was like, it's actually flat. I don't know if you guys know that. That's an argument now. There's people that are like, no, it's flat. And you're like, that's so, oh man, what an idiot Columbus is. How did he get over there? He went to the middle part. That's how. Anyway, it's very good to be here. I had a very weird day. I woke up I went to sleep at midnight. I tried to go to sleep early because I had an early flight, but my wife's like, really? We're not gonna watch TV? And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna watch some TV. So we watched Only Murderers in the Building. Yeah, love that show. Love it. I just want to dress like Steve Martin. That's my only goal. Steve Martin in that. Do you know how he dresses? I love that show. I think that's the life goal of all of us in this room. We want to live in an apartment and not have a job. They don't have a job. I don't know what their jobs are on only murderers in the building. Of just not murdering people. I guess they make enough money to do that. But Steve Martin looks so damn classy, and I'm like, I want a little piece of that. You know? Just the attire, not Steve Martin. And as soon as I said it, I was like, whoa, I'm coming in really hitting on Steve Martin. But so we stayed up late watching that, and then I woke up at 3:30 in the morning to go to the airport. So I don't know if I really... Do you ever do that, where you go to sleep so late and wake up so early? You're like, I don't know if I even fell asleep. It was one of those where I think I just blinked too long. Was that a dream or a thought? I don't know. And that's what happened. The Lyft picked me up, and I went to the airport early because I got a new credit card that lets me into the lounge. So I go to the airport an hour early so I can get those free eggs. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting this credit card. And it's not even, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a lounge. It's fine. You know, I think the only good part is they don't let kids in there. Because, you know, no one wants to waste their free pass on a kid. So it's just no kids in there. But the food is just food you would get. It's free breakfast from like a hotel. You know, you ever stay at like a Fairfield Inn? And then you're like, whoa, how do they get those eggs that sweaty? It's a lot of that, but I feel like I'm being treated better because I have a purple credit card. And they're not allowed in here. So I went early, I got the sweaty eggs. And I hopped on my flight and got to Cleveland, and I didn't realize that that's not close. I do my own routing, and you know, I have a show Sunday in Sandusky, and then so I'm like, that's also not near? Wow, I really messed this whole thing up. My wife laughs at me so much because I'm so disorganized. She's like, wait, you're not going on no sleep, and do you have a long drive when you land? And I go, no, it's Columbus, Christopher and Cleveland, they know each other. They're right there. Don't worry about it. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, do you have everything set up? And I looked. No hotels booked. Nothing. That's who I am. And I'm just last second like, I need a place to stay in Columbus. And so then no sleep, hop in a rental car. And I just want a coffee, you know, because I'm about to kill everybody on the highway. Because I know I'm one of those people. I won't just crash myself and be like, let's take that minivan out. So I just saw Starbucks on one of the freeway come off over here situations, and you know the advertisements. So I pulled over, got in there, and there's like a line. And you know when you're in public and you're like, people can tell that I haven't slept, and I'm just kind of waddling like this. Have you ever been intoxicated while not being intoxicated? Just kind of that. It was that lack of sleep that I was telling my order to myself in my head before it was my turn, so I wouldn't just go up there and go, huh. It was one of those. So I'm in my head going, you're going to get a bacon, egg, and Gouda sandwich, and you're going to get a sweet cream cold brew. That's what you're going to get. So I'm just standing there going, bacon, egg, Gouda sandwich, sweet cream cold brew. And I know me, and I know my face was showing it to everybody else. So everyone's just standing there. I'm just looking. I was so ready. I had the order memorized in my head. I'm holding my credit card. That's how ready I am. I'm not gonna dig around. That pair of shorts had a zipper on the pocket. I'm not messing around with it. I'm holding my credit card, going. And then it's my turn, and the lady behind the counter goes, ooh, are you paying with credit card? I'm like, uh-huh. And she goes, our system is down. You can only pay through the app or cash. And I went, bacon, egg, Gouda sandwich, sweet cream cold brew. And she threw me for a loop with that, because I'm like, we didn't plan this, you know? And she just said, I can't, you can't, I don't, you know? And I just remember I paused for way too long. And then I finally said, I don't have either of those things. And she goes, I'm so sorry. And I went, okay. And then I waddled out of the Starbucks to go drive more. I I had never been in a situation like that before where it was so bizarre because it was like, I felt like I was in no man's land because it was like the most modern way to pay, like through an app, which I'm like, I don't have the Starbucks app, or like I'm buying heroin in an alley, just cash. And you're like, nothing with this? Venmo, PayPal, anything. I don't know. So that was that. And then I finally made it to the hotel, checked in. I slept from like 11 to 3. And then I got up, went to go work out, which was cool. Went to the old hotel gym and did a half hotel gym workout. And I don't know if you guys ever work out at a hotel, but when someone else comes into the hotel gym, that you just hate that person forever. You're like, what? You too? Like, there can't be two lonely people at this hotel, you know? And so there's another person there, and I'm like, I hate you. And afterwards, I went to go get a salad at the bistro. It's a Courtyard Marriott, you know, which I like the Courtyard Marriott because they have food there that you can buy, and they have a Mediterranean grain bowl. I stay at a lot of Marriotts. I know the menu. I don't even look. I don't have to do the, I'm like, Mediterranean grain bowl, chicken, please. And they gave it to me, and I went up to my room, and they gave me a spoon and a knife. And I ate my salad with a spoon and a knife like a psychopath. Like I think that's how serial killers get ready for their evening's activities. They sit there and eat a salad with a spoon. Go, oh, I'm gonna kill someone good tonight, you know? And I was just, that's what today's been. That's what today's been. It's just been, you can't get a coffee, here's a spoon for your salad. And as soon as I got up here, I looked at the stairs. I'm like, that's right, the attic. All right, yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour. So go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.
Holy guacamole. All right. That's a lot of energy for a Wednesday. That's a little much for where we are right now. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for all showing up. I didn't know who would show up on a Wednesday, and you guys are like, we're coming. You know? I appreciate it. This is beautiful. I've never been to Stamford before, so it's so good to be here at the New York Comedy Club in Stamford. This is what you think of when you think New York comedy, you know? A mall in Stamford, Connecticut. That's what, you know? When I think of the Big Apple, I think of valet parking in front of the Capitol Grill. That's what I think of. Thank you so much for coming. This is wonderful. What a nice... You guys are so far away. There's like a weird distance there, isn't there? I like it. This is like, that's a fall for me. If I go down, I'm not getting up. I will let you know. I got a bad knee. I took a class at the Y this morning, and my wife and I, we signed up at the YMCA, and we took a group class, and I showed up, and it was a lot of older ladies. But I'm not arrogant. I know where my fitness level is, and I'm like, this is going to be tough. And it was. My left knee still hurts. So if I go down, please help. All right? It's not part of the show. TJ and I, the guy you saw earlier, he and I drove up. I just moved to New York City. I live in Brooklyn. And he picked me up and we drove up here. And I don't have a car. That was like one of the exciting things of moving to New York City from San Diego. I was like, I can get rid of my Honda Fit. And I don't have to tell people I drive a Honda Fit, you know? Having no car is better than driving a Honda Fit. Because when I would tell people I drove a Honda Fit, they're like, oh, things aren't going too good, huh? And I'm like, what? There's so much room for groceries. It's a sensible vehicle. But now, if you just tell people you don't have a car, they're like, wow, you're so good. You're a good person. They think I'm helping the environment by risking my life on the subway every day. You know? And so I don't have a car, so he came and picked me up. We drove up here, and the entire drive was a reminder of how happy I am to not have a car in this part of the country. I saw madness out there. I saw madness. We almost got hit doing 0 miles an hour, which I've never had that happen before. I don't even know what street we were on. We weren't moving, and there's a street coming this way. They have a stop sign that says, stop. But it just meant creep. And they were getting so close that I'm like, we should exchange information at least. They were like, they just kept creeping on us. And I'm like, what's happening right now? And TJ's like, yeah, this is how they drive here. And I'm like, I would lose my mind if that's what happened. And then we were on the freeway. I don't know if it was a freeway or just, I don't know. You guys have different ones here, you know? In California, we had interstates, and you guys have different ones that look like interstates, but they're not, and some are, but they aren't. And you have speed limits on them, but no one can go them because there's too many people on them. So it's just kind of a tease, isn't it? You know, they're like, you could go 60 if it wasn't for everyone in front of you. So you're just gonna roll along at about 15. How do you care about that? But we were on some road, and there was a dude on a scooter, no helmet, which I don't know if you guys have helmet laws or if this is a show your intelligence state. But no helmet on a scooter, not a motorcycle, a scooter. So he's extra tough. Like, I don't even think scooters are allowed on the interstate. I think you're supposed to ride those on sidewalks to deliver soup. Like, I think that's what those are made for. This guy's on the interstate in a scooter, no helmet, ass crack sticking out. A lot of it, all right? A lot of it. Like, enough that I was about to talk about it until I realized what he was doing. He stopped on the freeway because things were going slow enough. And he picked up a rock and he took off to chase another vehicle that he was apparently in a road rage situation with. And this car was trying to get away from this ass crack scooter, and he's just waving a rock. And TJ didn't say anything about it, which scared the hell out of me. Because that let me know this is just Wednesday. That's what that let me know. I think he just kind of looked at me, he's like, I'm glad it's not a gun. And I'm like, it gets worse? Man. It's pretty impressive when you have no helmet on a scooter on the interstate and 2 feet of your ass crack is sticking out, and that's not the weirdest thing that happened. It's like, what about that rock he's about to bludgeon that person with? I like it. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to fit into big city living. I grew up in the suburbs of San Diego in a trailer park, which I don't know if you guys have trailer parks out here. I haven't seen any. But it's different. It's different, and I'm trying to get used to not reacting to every noise I hear. Like, I've noticed that if you walk around the city and you hear someone just yell, you don't have to look. You don't have to stop what you're doing and go, huh? That's like a really big lesson to learn, you know? If someone's just like, hey, you don't have to look at that. You don't have to look and make eye contact with the last person you've ever wanted to make eye contact with. Because I'm the worst. Once I make eye contact, I can't break eye contact. I have that disorder, whatever that is. If I make eye contact with somebody, I'm like, we're in this now. Hey! And I'm like, I want to break away, but I can't. I don't know what that part is. Why can't I break eye contact once I've gotten in? I don't know. It's weird. It's dangerous, but it's exciting. I like it. I like a little bit of excitement. It feels good. California, what's happening out there? A fire? Ah. You see that coming, you know? On the subway, you're like, ugh. Might get shoved. I might jump. Don't know. That was a little dark. I apologize. You guys are like, why don't you temper it down? It's Wednesday. But yeah, I like it. There's good camaraderie in the city. I feel like there's an understanding. I feel like there's a good community there. I feel like there is. Like, we were on the train. I did a show, and I was on the train home, and there was a wild man that got on the train. I don't know the new term, so I apologize. I know the one I think it is, but I'm probably wrong, because they always change the term. And so I'm just going to make up my own, all right? I'm going to take a guess. It's probably going to be the next term, all right? He was mentally spectacular. He came on... I actually think that might be the next term. I think I'm ahead of the game. That's not even offensive. It's half a compliment if you think about it. A mentally spectacular man came on the train, and he built into a rage. Like, he was fine in the beginning, and he crescendoed into a monster truck announcer. And it started slow. It started with, you know, like that on a silent car. You're like, and no one looked but me, because I haven't learned not to look. You know, I just heard and I went, and we made eye contact, and I'm like, damn it. And then I tried to break eye contact, but he had me. But then he broke eye contact, which I'm like, is that a win for me? How does that work? Did I just intimidate him? Hell yeah. I got way more testosterone than I think. You know, I was in that state of mind, and then he broke eye contact and went, ah! And slowly he just built to a fervor and just started fighting ghosts. I don't know what he was doing. He chokeslammed a ghost that didn't exist. I watched him do it, and I was like, that was a picture-perfect chokeslam. Like, if we actually sat down and talked, I think we'd both be wrestling fans. You know, I think we have something to connect on. But here's where I felt the sense of community. There's like 8 of us on the train, and him. And while he was doing his thing, me and this elderly Asian man just kind of we had a moment. And we looked at each other and we just had a moment like, I got you, you know? I was like, I could tell, we didn't even raise an eyebrow. It was just I was like, if something happens, I got you. If something happens, you got me. Like, I felt that understanding. And I'm like, this is the kind of community I was looking to get into. And then at the next stop, he got off. And I'm like, you traitor! You're supposed to get off at 7th. I got more stops. You left me with the crescendo. So that's what it's been out there. It's been, you know, it's been good. Going to the YMCA, working out with the elderly ladies, and it's good. I don't have the knees for it. I don't know. It's been good. I just got married, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. Got the old. Men never show off the wedding ring. It's always the women because there's a lot to it. And men, we have stupid fingers. No man has ever had good fingers. Women have beautiful fingers, and they just look good, you know, for fingers. You know, no one ever thinks a finger's beautiful until you see a man's fingers, and you're like, oh, you got a hair? How'd you get a hair out of that? What kind of burnout? What happened to your nails? Did you lose that nail? Like, every man's fingers look like they were in a horrible woodshop accident in high school, and sometimes the fingers don't match. It's bad, you know? No one ever shows off the phalanges. And that's the other word for fingers. Sorry, I'm not trying to flex my high school education on you guys, but I heard phalanges once, and it felt appropriate to drop. We got married. That's what I was talking about. We eloped to Italy, which was how we got married. Yeah, we eloped. If you don't know what an elopement is, that's when you realize you can have way more fun at your wedding if nobody comes. That's what an elopement is. That's when you crunch the numbers and you realize, oh my God, if nobody comes, we can go to Italy. If we don't have to feed and drink everybody, we can go to Italy. And then we weighed our love for our family against a trip to Italy, and we're like, au revoir, you know? Which that's not even Italian, but it doesn't matter because they're not coming anyway, you know? You'll find out on another trip. So we went to Italy. We got married in Venice in a empty square at sunrise. We had to wake up early because we didn't want the tourists in our photos. We wanted it to look like we rented out Venice. And you can do that, but you got to get your ass up at 5 a.m. to do that. And so it was just us and like one janitor sweeping. And we got married. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved Italy. Italy is the people. They're so vibrant, and there's no shy people in Italy. Everyone's very It's all the caricatures that you ever thought of. They're all there. It's wonderful to see. I even saw an old couple in Florence get into an argument, and they got into in the street, just a full-on and then she's like and then he grabbed her and shook her. He actually shook her, and her head went, and her sunglasses fell off, and she broke away and ran. And it was weird because it was domestic violence, but it was in Italian, so. You know what I mean? It was kind of beautiful. It was like we were at the opera, and I'm like, don't call the police. There's a second act. We don't know how this is going to end, you know? It was just the culture, you know? It's a dumb joke, I agree, but that's what I felt. My wife was like, that is so horrible. I'm like, but it's art, you know? Art comes from this. This is good. You see that in Connecticut, you call the cops. You see that in Florence, you're like, let's see where this goes. And it's so beautiful. We don't have beautiful stuff like that. No, we do, but it's different. It's got an air of grunge to it, you know? I like the East Coast. Maybe it's because I'm new. Maybe in 6 more months I'll be like, I hate it here, and I'm moving back. No, but I like it. It's just New York City feels like it's a cat. It's pretty much what it is, you know? It's just like a cat. It doesn't need you around. It doesn't necessarily want you around. But if you work hard enough, it might tolerate you. You know? It's exactly what the city is. It doesn't need you. It'll be fine if you never come. But if you work really hard, you might be able to sit on the couch and not be clawed in the face. It's a little bit right there. But yeah, my wife and I think we're a good match. I know we are, but I also say think because I always want to hedge my bets, you know. We're a good match because I realize together we make a whole person. I think separately, I don't think we should be allowed to vote, but together there's like a normal person. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes a good relationship. Not two complete people getting together, two broken, missing people. But you have to be missing the right things. You have to be missing the things that the other person has so you can kind of fit together like a broken puzzle piece that you're like, it's gonna work, you know? That's what it is. Like, here's my example. Like, my wife is a hypochondriac. Every morning she wakes up with a brand new disease. And that's fun, unless you're me. It's pretty wild. Every morning she'll just be like, what's that? Do you hear that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, that, do you hear that? And she'll hold her wrist to my ear. And she's like, do you hear that? And I'm like, kinda. And she's like, was that there yesterday? I'm like, I don't know, we didn't do this yesterday. I don't have yesterday's wrist noises to compare to today's wrist noises. And she's like, oh, you never listen. And then she leaves. And after like 3 hours of Googling, she comes back and she's like, it's wrist cancer. And I'm like, obviously, you know, what else could it be? So that's who she is. My wife's a hypochondriac. And me, I've had a pain in my left testicle for about 6 years. And I've just been riding that out, you know? See what I mean? Like, separately, but together you're like, okay, yeah, there's like a normal person in between them. And she's like, you should get that testicle checked out. I'm like, all right, but shut up about your wrist, you know? And I actually tried in February to get health insurance to get this checked out. And because here's the reason I never got it checked out. I have a 7-day rule. That's a personal rule. If something hurts on my body, I give it 7 days. And if it still hurts, I'll go to the doctor and get it checked out. The problem with this testicle pain is it would come for like 2, 3, 4 days, and then it would stop, and then come back like a couple weeks later, and I would start my clock over again. And it was just this year I realized I've been doing that since 2017. So, and she's like, you should get it checked out. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. And so I tried to get health insurance in February. And did you know you can't? Did you know there's a time limit? You guys you've been insured your entire lives. I just let some big cat out of the bag, didn't I? You guys were like, no, we live respectable lives. I've been insured since I was a mere child. On the docks of death. I don't know. I don't know where the docks are here. I was gonna guess a town. Hamptons or something. You're not giving me any clues. All right. But yeah, I'll let you know if you can't just get health insurance whenever, and I didn't know that. I did not know that, so I called like an idiot, and I was like, hello, one health insurance, please. And they were like, what? You missed it. And I'm like, missed the health insurance? And they're like, yeah, there's open enrollment from Thanksgiving till the end of January. You missed it. And I'm like, but my testicle hurts now. I don't think you understand. Like, what do you mean open enrollment? She's like, yeah, didn't you see the commercials? I'm like, yeah, I saw the commercials, but you know what else has commercials around January? Gyms. And they're all like, come on in. You can sign up for a discount. That doesn't mean you can't get a gym membership in the summer. That just means you can get it cheaper in January. That's all that means. And they're like, no, this one was a real one. Like, it's closed enrollment. And I'm like, but I got a dull toothache in my left nut. We got to figure this out. And she's like, I don't know how to help you. And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe we can start by not treating health insurance like a pumpkin spice latte, where you just have it seasonally. Come on, you know? This is America. Like, as an American, that gets me in the patriotic bones. Like, we don't treat anything else like that. Like, if I was like, hey, I'm going to buy an iPhone tomorrow, and you guys are like, in May? You can't buy an iPhone in May. You got to wait till Labor Day weekend. Everybody knows that. Summer solstice. That's when you get iPhones. This is America. You should be able to get it whenever you want. And I told my wife that, And she's a hypochondriac, so she's immediately like, oh my God, what if they got to cut it off? And I'm like, why would that be the first thing you say? Why would you go to the worst possible conclusion when you know I can't make an appointment for 9 more months? Why would you take it to the moon? And she goes, what if? And I'm like, I don't know, what if? And she's like, well, do they put another one in there? And I'm like, I hope. I don't think they'd let me leave with half a grocery bag. Just throw me into the streets off balance, you know? It'd be horrible. So, I had just got it checked out last Monday. My wife made an appointment. She's like, this is dumb. You don't need insurance. You're going to pay for it like a real American. And I'm like, what if it's too much? She's like, you're going to go into debt like a real American. And I was like, okay. And she made an appointment with this guy. I'm not making up his name. His name is Dr. Zoltan. His name is Dr. Zoltan. He's a urologist in New York City. And she told me, and I'm like, you picked because of the name, right? She's like, she's like, it's fate. And I'm like, I don't think you know what fate means. But, and she even called to confirm my appointment while I was on the road. And she goes, I called to confirm your appointment. And the receptionist goes, Zoltan is all set to see Dr. Zoltan. And she giggled a little. And I was like, of course. She's like, don't worry, it's not going to be awkward. You guys will laugh too. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. We're just 2 Zoltans. Just, here are my genitals. You know? I was like, when do you show them off? You know, do you wait for the laughter to die down? I've never done this before. I've never been in a situation where I'm about to show my junk and there's just been tithering. That's usually not what makes me feel confident, to disrobe. But I went in to see Dr. Zoltan, and I just went in and got naked. My wife came in with me, which I tried to fight her on. And I'm like, let me just go in. And she's like, why? What's the problem if because it feels like when my mom used to come in, you know, to the doctor's office. Don't forget to tell him about the dull toothache in your left nut. And I'm like, that's why we're here, sweetheart. Like, this is why we made the appointment. And she was there, and I just put my back to her. I'm like, I don't want you to watch I don't want you to watch this is private, you know? So I'm over there, and I just pulled my pen, and I'm just holding, and he gets down there, and he starts doing his thing. And he's like, I think you're good. And it's so funny because he knew the answer I wanted to hear. He knows what I want. It's the same answer hopefully you guys want to hear if you like me enough. You don't want it to be cancer. That's the only thing you want. And he just goes, oh, okay, I think you have a swollen vein going into this testicle. And I'm like, okay. And he's just like, yeah, we'll get a thing to check that out. And he just says more doctor words. And then finally I'm like, come on, man. Is it cancer? And he goes, no. And I'm like, say that first. That should be the first thing you say. You should go, it's not cancer. And I'd be like, hell, get off me. You know, I don't even care what it is now. As long as it's not that, get the hell off me. There's money on the nightstand, Dr. Zoltan. Get off of me. And I had to go back to do an ultrasound. They do I didn't know that. They do ultrasounds if you're pregnant to see the baby, but they also do it for other things like this. And I didn't know that, so I went back, and it wasn't Dr. Zoltan giving me the ultrasound because they have an ultrasound technician, and it was a lady. And it was a lady that kind of resembled my mother, which I didn't know how to feel about that, because I'm like, yay, but no. You know, I'd rather it be a dude, but at the same time, you're like, I don't want it to be anyone that looks like anyone I've ever known. I just want it to be a person without a face. Do you have any urologists without a face? Do you have any of those that just come in? No face and no personality, just a robot. Just a robot that blah, blah, blah. And then they squirt this jelly on you, and I'm just laying there. And then she was so professional. She just looked straight ahead and just made small talk. She was like, sorry I'm late. I was stuck behind a garbage truck all morning. And I was like, there's no, I don't know about you guys, my brain's not on in that moment. My brain is on, and it's sad, you know, you don't look impressive in that moment. It's the saddest it's all ever looked, everything. You're like, oh man, wow. Not that it's ever looked good, But if there was ever a time it's looked bad, then. Just then. And she's like, you're married? And I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like, she's like, I noticed your ring. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. You know, shut up with the commentary. But yeah, then they checked it out. And then I was like, did you see anything? She's like, I'm not allowed to say because I'm a urologist. Or not a urologist, I'm the ultrasound guy. So you have to talk to the doctor. I'm like, that's such a weird, because you know. Just let me know. And no, they'll call you. And they called it a remote visit. But you know what it was? A phone call. Just say it's a phone call. I put a shirt on thinking it's a Zoom meeting. I got ready for this remote doctor visit with Dr. Zoltan. I put a shirt on, put my contacts in, combed my hair, tried to make it look like I didn't just wake up, like I'm a productive member of society. And he just called me. I'm like, is this it? Or are you sending me the Zoom link? He's like, we can just do it over the phone. And I'm like, I agree, but why'd you guys call it a remote visit? It's a phone call. Why are you? And I'm like, is it cancer? Like, that's all I wanted. He's like, you're fine. We looked at the thing, and both of your testicles have enlarged veins, actually. And I was like, okay. And and I'm like, is it cancer? He goes, no. And I go, shut up. We don't need to keep talking. I don't have an end for that story, but I don't have testicular cancer, so I'm pretty...
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour, so go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.
Know him from his many comedy specials, maybe from Dry Bar Comedy, maybe from YouTube. There's many reasons why you're here, but he's here. He's hilarious. Can we get some noise going for your headliner? Yes, some energy, some noise. From Zoltan Kaszas, everybody.
What's up, everybody? All right, thank you for clapping. Thank you. Some of you didn't. I saw you. There's enough to look around. Some people just say, is it worth it? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Well, here we are in this bunker, Doesn't this feel like where they planned it? This is where they planned that Capitol stuff, right here. It's definitely in a room like this, wasn't it? Just in the shadows. We'll do it. Oh, you meant it. Let's do it. I like it. Thank you. We got you guys in there. I like that. It's good. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I like how Nathan was like, a lot of you guys are here for many different reasons. And I'm like, are they? I hope just comedy. No, I got a vendetta. All right. He thought that was just a mean YouTube comment. No, I meant it. Showing up to the Late Show. This is good, man. This is an art form. Right? It's hard to say. Like, as soon as I said art form, you're like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never gone to the museum to look at a Monet, and they're like, what's your second drink order? You know what I mean? You don't need 2 beers to enjoy a Monet. But comedy, it helps. A couple drinks in you. It's so good to be here in D.C. I really like D.C. This is probably my 5th or 6th, 7th time. I don't know. I've been to this town enough. And enough to the point that I know I like it. And it doesn't get talked about enough that it's a good town, I think it gets overshadowed with the politics and stuff. But there's good stuff. I had a good salad today. That doesn't get brought up about D.C. No one's ever like, D.C., good salad town. They gave me a healthy amount of croutons. They weren't skimpy on the croutons. Good town. Good. Everyone looks like they're important. Everyone looks like they're off to something. I'm at a hotel, there's like a guy in a suit. I'm like, that's probably somebody. Everyone that's well-dressed in this town, you're like, you're in charge of some sort of budget, aren't you? Lobbyists? What are you? I don't even know what that means, but look at you. Everything I know about politics is from the show House of Cards. Everything. And if it wasn't in that show, I'm going to assume that doesn't happen.
You just see some old guy in a suit, and you're like, oh yeah, yep, you lied to get that. I don't know. You just think about it. I like it. You guys love a good roundabout in this city. I see that. A lot of roundabouts. You guys think this is Italy or something. Every intersection. Roundabout. You know? It's like, why? It's so confusing. It's hard to walk. I got lost walking, which is impressive. That's such a slow way to go the wrong direction. You know? Because my phone's like, you're going the wrong way. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm kind of not, also. That's the weird thing about a circle. When you walk it, you're like, yeah, I'm still kind of... I mean, we could turn. It's a weird way to go the wrong direction. It's way worse driving. I couldn't do it driving. Thankfully, I'm just walking. But driving, you just miss the turn. You just want to go from here to there. And then see, I messed up. Now we're going that way. And we're out. You know? It's very representative of how government works. You know? Just want to take this money to the needy people over there. Oops, we bailed out the banks. I'm so sorry. We got stuck in a roundabout. I wrote that while I got lost walking. Because I'm like, I feel dumb. I want to come up with something, at least. There's nothing worse than when you're lost walking, because everyone knows it. You know, you're just looking at your phone, and you're... The worst is if you walk by. I walked by a cafe and there's people outside eating, and then I walked back, and I'm like, I know they noticed. Like that idiot, he doesn't know where he's going. Trying to get to a haunted hotel. There's a bunker, and they're doing comedy there. That's where I gotta get to. You know, I'm not staying here. I'm staying at another hotel, and it's called Luxury, but it's. You ever stay at a hotel that throws luxury in there, and I'm like, I don't think they know the meaning of luxury. I think you just picked words out of a thesaurus. And you're like, that sounds good, luxury hotel. I don't know if it's a luxury hotel, but there is a lot of tile. Have you ever been to a hotel where they just decide to do the tile all the way up? Like it's on the ground, and you're like, that's nice tile. And then they start to do the wall, and then the further up they go on the wall, you're like, what happens in this hotel? Where they eventually went, run the tile up the wall, all right? We're just gonna hose this place out. I don't know what people are doing in this room. But I'm in a hotel where the tile runs up to the ceiling, and I'm like, wow, all right. Just a guy in there sending emails. I don't know. It's rough. I don't know. It's good to be here. I'm an East Coaster now. I grew up in San Diego, but I just moved to New York City. Yeah, thank you. Nobody ever claps. Nobody. Even when I told people in San Diego, I'm moving to New York City, they're like, why? Why would you leave San Diego? There's sunshine and happiness. Why would you trade it in? Because I've never lived in a city before. I grew up in the suburbs of San Diego in a trailer park, you know? So, like, everything was driving and stuff. And I want to be on a train, you know? On a subway. Just like, like that's exciting to me. I feel like every time I'm on a subway, I have to hide my smile because it's so exciting. I'm just... I rode yours when I landed at Reagan. Took the little blue line over to Foggy Bottoms or whatever. And it was exciting. I had to hide my smile. I was like, look at me using public transit, you know. Made the move. I like it. I like the East Coast. I like it because it's they're rude, but it comes from the heart. You know, they mean it. They're not just being rude to be rude. They mean it. And I appreciate the genuineness of it, you know. I like the bluntness of the East Coast. Like in New York and the East in general, if someone doesn't like you, they go, I don't care for your face, and I'd rather never see it again. And you know what? I'm like, fair. I like that. And they never say that in California. In California, they're like, we should hang out, and then they just never call you. And you find out, you're like, I don't think that guy liked my face. I think that's what that was all about. I like the directness. Save some time. Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour, so go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.
I love Milwaukee. I love it up here. It's like I think it's Wisconsin as a whole. Everyone's friendly, but they look like they have a story. You know? Like, it's a friendliness where you're like, hey, welcome. I live in a boxcar. And you're like, what? Everyone looks like they have a wild story. Like, everyone has all their limbs, but they look like they shouldn't. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can describe that well enough. But just the different people that I've met, I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah. It's so friendly, but also like, okay, yeah. We'll keep an eye, yeah. It's a good, healthy laugh over there. I heard that. It's good. So good to be here, man. I flew in yesterday. We came in yesterday. I'm staying in West Milwaukee, I think. It's over by the baseball stadium. Yeah, that's why I hear the murmurs. I hear what you're murmuring. I heard some people go, and I'm like, I get it, because I'm there. It's fine, but also, I'm like, what is it? You know what it is? It's the Walmart. That's what it is. That's what it is. We couldn't tell. Because we got coffee at Starbucks. We ate at Popeyes because my fiance and I, Emma, we're chain people. You know, we like to go to the local eatery, but it's way out there. So I'm not going to take an Uber to eat at whatever the hell the local thing is, but I'll go get a Starbucks and be like, Popeye's chicken, sign us up twice, you know? And then we went into that Walmart and I was like, good Lord, what happened to that Walmart? I think before I went there, someone told me, because we went to the Happy Endings Cat Cafe, and the lovely lady that runs it, she's like, oh, you're going to that Walmart? That is the most stolen from Walmart in Milwaukee. And I've never been told that before, going into a store. It's almost like she said, yeah, I mean, pay if you want, but if you just leave, it won't be weird. You know? Like if you just walk out with some contact solution and a thing of toothpaste, it won't be that weird. You know? I like it. I feel like this is the time of year to come, you know? I don't do your winters. I don't do that. I like this. I like it. Yesterday was just cloudy, and this morning was cloudy, and I'm like, I kind of liked it, and then the sun came out, and it just went from cloudy and nice to just sun, and you're like, oh, global warming now. All right. It's like Bill Nye the Science Guy came up and was like, let me show you what global warming feels like. Just sauteed it in there. I don't know if you guys feel about it like I do, but it's weird, man. Like, we just got through a pandemic, and then now global warming, and there's inflation and viruses. Everyone hates each other. I feel like Earth feels like a restaurant that's trying to close. And humanity is that last table in the corner that just isn't getting the hint. Like the servers are coming around vacuuming and the house lights are on, and we're just like, what's going on? I think they're trying to close. And we're still here, you know? You laughed way too hard at that in the front. You're with me. It's a little sweaty out there. I love watching it. I watch all the ESPN on the flight out. I watch the Little League World Series. It's my favorite time of year. Love watching the Little League World Series. I don't know what it is I like about it. I like it. I never even played baseball as a kid. I just like it. It's all inclusive. Baseball's so inclusive. Everyone can play. Everybody. There'll be like a chubby kid who weighs like 200 pounds at the age of 12, and he's playing, and there's a kid that weighs 87 pounds, and he's out there playing, and nobody gets hurt. There's no tackle. It's so inclusive. Everybody, there's not that much running. There's just enough of everything to where everyone gets to feel it. I love it. It made me feel good. And I watched Nicaragua play against Curacao, and there was a chubby kid at the on the mound. He was pitching, and he was doing a horrible job. He was having a bad game. And I'm not making fun of him, but he couldn't get it over the plate. Like, he started the game, he had the bases loaded in the first inning, all on walks. And he's just there, and I'm watching him, just having this rough time. He can't do it. He just can't do it, and he's sweating, you know, but he's staying calm. He's staying calm. And I'm like, I think I'm watching this 12-year-old boy become a man on live television. Like, he just keeps trying, and it's not working, but he's keeping his cool. And I think I'd be such a better person now as an adult if I played baseball as a child, because I think that's where you learn to keep trying and failing, and you just keep going. Because imagine that, he's just out there pitching, and it's not working, and his whole friend group is just behind him, watching him bomb. One after the other. That is great training for adulthood. Once you get to adulthood and you're like, I don't have the rent. There it is. I just got laid off. All right. My wife just left. And the whole time your friends are behind him going, good Lord. Let's call a huddle. We need to pep him up. Yeah, man, you're doing great. Just keep trying. Just right. You got it, buddy. Oh, my God. That's great practice for adult life right there. Everyone should be a pitcher as a 12-year-old. I know I can't do it. I can't. I'm 35, and I turned 35 this year. It's a big age for me. Hit 35, and I've realized it's been me all along. You ever make that? I think that's what 35 is for. That's when you realize it's been you. I think in your 20s you have fun, then you hit 30, and you're like, I gotta cut these toxic people out of my life. And then you hit 35 and you're like, oh, it was me? It's been me this entire time? Damn it! I could have thought, I swore it was David. And I haven't seen David in 7 years. It's been me this entire time. Doing my best, man, trying to work on it. I don't know.
So good to be here in Austin. I came in yesterday, and I got to be honest with you, a little too much for me, what you guys are doing here. Yeah, I think I'm more of a suburban Houston type person, you know, just where all the homes look the same, and everyone's in bed by 10, and you got good slippers, good hearty slippers, and everyone's built like they process cheese. Like, that's what... It changes once you get to like Austin. It changes. But I was in Houston and Dallas, and there was just there's a build for Texas. There's a build, and I know where it comes from because I've had barbecue since Tuesday, and I feel it. The build is Alex Jones. It's like if you've ever seen Alex, he looks like he's digesting at all times. There's just a bit of that's a lot of meat, just kind of red-faced and sweaty, and you're like. Immigrants. Like, it's just like, oh no, you just need some water and a salad. That'll process nicely later. Yeah, I need a salad, but I can't find one. For the love of God. Every time I try, I'm like, do you have salad? We have brisket? And you're like, yeah, that's what I said. More brisket, please. God damn, what are you guys putting in brisket? Where it just stays there. It doesn't... I don't think anything's happened bathroom-wise for me since Tuesday. I just keep putting more brisket on it. It's not good. Not limber. It's just a weird mix. That's a good laugh in the back, absolutely.
Shoot a Uber. Parking's a real situation.
Like this thing, wait a minute.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of good-ass restaurants here.
Yeah.
Someone else that's full of brisket. Yeah. Just a lot of meat, a lot of driving. A lot of meat, a lot of driving. Angry driving. Angry. You guys drive like with this, like you feel it as they cut you off. You feel it, like it's this energy of I have a gun and I want to use it today. Like, give me a reason to put 2 in your windshield. It's this, and I don't have it. I'm just over like,
And I rented the proper vehicle. I'm in a red Dodge Challenger, all right? Full testosterone, 3 testicles, not even 2, 3. 3, like I'm on Nugenics, and the third one went bloop in the back. And you're like, this guy's got extra back hair, absolutely. And even with it, I'm just still like, what are we doing right now? Just, come on, we'll all get there. No. And all of them, that's been the one consistency between Houston, Dallas, and here is every freeway is jam-packed, jam-packed. Everyone's doing 8 miles an hour, but it's an angry 8 miles an hour. You get cut off at 8 miles an hour. I didn't know you could get cut off going that slow. And I watched it happen. Some dude's like, and I'm like, am I getting cut off going 8? Like I didn't know I could hit the brake and go slower than I was already going. But I was like, I had to hit the brake, otherwise I might have tapped him, you know? Everyone on the freeway, 8 miles an hour, angry, I'll shoot you in the face. And then you guys got frontage roads where everyone's just doing 90. Just a hard, it's reversed. It's like you're supposed to drive that speed on this road and that on that, and no, 90, yeah. Man. Every time I pulled out a parking lot this week, it's been life and death. Every time You're like, don't even talk to me. I gotta focus. You can't even take a sip of that Starbucks. You're like, no, this is, And when you're pulling into a place, everyone's doing, you can't slow down and then pull in. Everyone's doing 90 behind you. You gotta just Dukes of Hazzard it into that Starbucks parking lot going, I hope no one's walking in that parking lot, because I will kill them doing 90. Should I slide across the hood? My 3rd testicle just dropped. How you feeling, Bob?
Like $1,000,000.
You know what would be a slick pickup line?
No.
If you were like, we just want to see the boots. Hey, you want to see me knock them?
Yeah.
And then you throw a kick.
Anything else?
It's a good energy. I like what you guys are doing here. Definitely different here in Austin. Austin feels like California without the taxes. A little bit, right? Yeah, you know, I like it. Everyone moved out here. They're like, we want to buy a house. And that's why the homeless people are here. Because they're like, us too? And we're like, oh. Not so much on you guys. But bring that tent, dude. Bring that tent. I know, that one's harder to laugh at. I agree. Because we got morals. I know, we feel bad, but not wrong what I said. So good to be here. What's up, Austin? Late show. We're doing it Friday night. Whoop-de-whoop. I love it. This town is too much for me. I'll be straight up with you. There's too much going on. But yeah, everyone looks like they need a little rehab. Too much. Too much. Last night was my first night hanging out in this town. I was at the Sunset something down the street, and there's people smoking inside. There's people doing cocaine in the bathroom. There's neon lights everywhere. It was like they're just begging that this was 1985. Like, they're like, we want it to be the 80s. We will make it the 80s. It's good. Thanks for coming out to the Late Show. I'm not a late show guy, man. My goal in comedy is to get to a level where it's 8 o'clock and that's it. Honestly, I'm not all this fun. It looks fun for you. For me, I'm just like, man, if we could just be at home and like that's what I want, man. Like every time I'm out, I'm like, man, what if we were home right now? Can you imagine so much stuff at home? Remember that couch we picked out? Why? Because it's the good couch. And we're not sitting in it. What are we doing right now? That's who I am. I'm not a fun person. I'm a couch, 5 milligram, edible. Yeah, not a lot, but just enough, you know? Just enough. I'm so glad that's legal, because that'd be embarrassing to buy from a drug dealer. I got into the edibles during the pandemic, and I'm like, thank God these are legal, because it'd be so embarrassing to go into a studio apartment of some drug dealer. He's like, what will it be? I'm like, the gummy bears. I'd have to order something else just so he wouldn't judge me. And I'd be like, oh, and some black tar heroin. The gummy bears are for the kids, the smacks for daddy, all right? We're here to party. We're here to have a good time. I like it, man. I looked into it. Weed's been legal in some form or fashion for the last, 10 years, depending on states, right? And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the last decade, anxiety and conspiracy theories through the roof. And I'm not saying it's connected, but I think it might be connected, all right? Because I get it. Sometimes I'll get on the wrong side of a 5 milligram, and I'll make eye contact with one of my cats. I'll be like, what do you know? Tell me right now, what the hell do you know? There's something about it. I get into edible, I skip the things I pay for. No Netflix, no Hulu. I go to YouTube. I go to the free one. 10 years ago, I never would have thought the Earth was flat. Now, who really knows? Right? I've had the window seat on a flight. I didn't see it curve either. Right? I like that joke because some people laugh and other people are like, is he serious right now? Like, what's happening? That's where we are as a society, that a person can go, maybe the Earth is flat. And people are like, I don't know if he's joking. Actually, it could go either way right now. That's what we do. Go home. Make weird Googles. I remember I was on the couch, 5 milligram clicked in, and I was just playing with my zipper. I was just going, beep, beep, beep. And then I turned to my wife, and I'm like, who invented the zipper? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, Google it. She goes, you Google it. And I go, I will. And I actually Googled who invented the zipper. Some guy, some dude invented it. And then I went deeper into it. I found the schematics that they sent to the patent office. And you ever do that? You ever look up an invention from 100 years ago and they actually show you how it works? And you're like, man, if you put a gun to my head, I couldn't recreate that. It's like you're looking at it, but you're like, I don't get it. It was like looking into a lava lamp, but you're like, yeah, but where did that piece come from? You know, just blown away. The zipper was a little extravagant. We didn't need a zipper. We had buttons. Buttons were doing great until one brave man was like, my dingus is gonna fall out of there. I need something a little more secure. And then she came up, beep. It's an arrogant piece of clothing, the zipper. It's kind of arrogant. It's unnecessary. What do you have down there that needs that much security? It's like those people that have AR-15s. You gotta protect my family. And you look at their family, they're not that special. What do you... I don't see a single human being in there that's worth protecting with any of those bullets. I've never said that out loud before, but it felt really good. It felt really good to say out loud. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. It's an arrogant piece of clothing, the zipper. It's not as arrogant as the scarf. The scarf might be the most arrogant. I grew up in San Diego, so I never wore a scarf because my neck's always been safe from the elements. Even in the middle of January, I never went outside in San Diego and went, oh, my jugular. It's always been fine. But I had a show in Chicago. We were living in San Diego. I had a show in Chicago, and my wife is from Toronto, so she knows about winter. And she goes, you need to buy a scarf. You can't go to Chicago without a scarf in the winter. So I just Amazoned a scarf, and it showed up, and she goes, do you even know how to wear one? And I go, a scarf? Yeah, I know how to wear a scarf. You go, you put it, and you whip it. That's it. That's what I thought you did. You put it, and you throw, and you run off, and the back whips in the wind like the Red Baron or something. That's how you wear a scarf. Apparently not. You gotta fold it, and there's so many ways to wear it, but you fold it, and you and there's no way to wear a scarf without you looking like your father owns all the railroads. It's an arrogant piece of clothing. Just walks around clucking. But yeah, that's what we do. Stay home, we watch Netflix, watch all the serial killer documentaries. Big into those, man. Super fun. Watched last year was the Jeffrey Dahmer show. Do you remember that one? That was so good. That actor did such a good job. In the first episode, he was dancing in a nightclub 10 minutes into the episode. He had danced like Jeffrey Dahmer. Do you realize how hard that is for an actor? There's no file footage he could have looked up to see how Jeffrey Dahmer danced in 1990. Yeah, it had to come from within. He had to just feel it out. There's no spring seminar at NYU on, we're gonna dance like serial killers this summer so you can be master thespians once you become an actor. He had to feel that from within. Did an amazing job. I love how that actor played Napoleon Dynamite, because he played Napoleon Dynamite with a hint, or no, I'm sorry. I said that backwards. Thank you, Lone Star. He played Jeffrey Dahmer with a hint of Napoleon Dynamite, right? He was like Jeffrey, but it was just a touch of it. Like every time he talked to his dad, like his dad would be like, "Damn it, Jeffrey, get a job," and he'd be like, "All right, Dad, jeez." Like it was just a pinch of Napoleon Dynamite. But yeah, I love all the murder documentaries. They're fascinating. Do you have a favorite serial killer, sir? In the front? No? No favorite serial killer? Anybody have one? Favorite? Man, that's mine, dude. Really? That's so cool. Usually people, I like you already, because mostly, anytime I ask that, people usually go either Dahmer, Bundy, that's a big one. Some people like Charles Manson, which that guy didn't even do it, which is extra crazy. He was like, "You do it." And they're like, "All right." Like, that's extra power. But I like Gacy. Gacy, if you don't know, he's the one that dressed up like a clown, right? He killed like 30-something people. He killed 30 young men in the 80s, and he hid their body while also running a successful construction company. That's how successful this man was. Like, how did he have the time? Like, I was almost late to this show. Like, and this guy was burying bodies going, "I gotta get to the Johnson job site," and then he would haul us over there. It's just fascinating. Like, it's so crazy. He was able to lure young men over to his house because he had a pool table and some marijuana. That's all it took in the 70s. That's how boring the 70s was. You could go up to a 19-year-old kid and be like, "Yeah, I got a pool table and some weed," and they'd be like, "Say no more. I'll open that door myself," you know? That wouldn't work today. I don't think John Wayne Gacy could make a friend today. Like, if he went up to some 19-year-old kid and be like, "Hey, I got a pool table and some weed," they could be like, "What?" "I have a smartphone, and I'm microdosing on shrooms as we speak. Like, well, I don't think you got anything for me, old man." But I love the serial killer documentary. It's just fascinating, because, like, who would do that? That guy did that, you know? And it's a bummer, because I love those documentaries. My wife and I, we watch them all the time, but we're running out of them. You know, we watched all of them, because there's no more serial killers. Serial killing, that's an old-timey thing. 70s, 80s, 90s. No one's doing the serial killing anymore, so we're out of the documentaries now. Now we got mass shooters, and that's a lame documentary. No one wants to learn about a mass shooter. Ugh, you know? Mass shooters are a great representation of today's society. Everyone wants to be famous, but no one wants to put in the work. You know what I mean? John Wayne Gacy put in the work, all right? He lured young men over. He had clown makeup. He ran a successful construction company. He learned magic, all right? He was in his bathroom going, "Is this your card? Is this your..." I'll watch that documentary any day. The mass shooter, what's the documentary? He didn't blink a lot. And you're like, "No, thank you." It's wild. Yeah, live it up. Go do your thing, man. I'm doing it. I'm starting to get some steroids. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start stealing. I'm gonna get some steroids, get jacked for no reason. You ever do it? Yeah. Next year I'll come back with giant arms for no reason. Just come back. Not too big, but big enough that if I took my shirt off, you wouldn't notice the mole with the hair in it first, you know? That's the level of jacked I want, where I take my shirt off and you're like, "Ooh, oh yeah, there's the mole with the hair." Because you don't want too big. Like, if you have giant cartoonish arms, you better be doing big arm things all the time, otherwise you're gonna look ridiculous. Like, you better be moving a boulder off the interstate or something. You ever see a dude with big arms do everyday activities? It looks like a joke. I was on a flight, this dude was jacked, he was just texting on his phone, he was just sitting there. He looked like a gorilla trying to pick a lock. He looked so dumb. But none of us could say it because he looks like he could throw us across the street. So we all just went, look like an idiot. But I'm thinking about it. Just get jacked, get on that Nugenics, you know? Yeah. You watch ESPN, you know what I'm talking about. For the rest of you that don't know, they just sell straight up steroids on ESPN. They call it Nugenics. The spokesperson is Frank Thomas, the big hurt, retired baseball player. And the other guy in the commercial is just some guy who looks like me. And this is how the commercial goes. I see him and I go, "Oh my God, you're Frank Thomas." And he's like, "Oh." And I'm like, "You look so good, Frank Thomas." And he's like, "It's all because of Nugenics." And he shakes the steroids and I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Well, once you hit 35, your testosterone levels drop, and if you take some of these, you'll feel like a 16-year-old. Is that what you want?" And I'm like, "No, not really." He's like, are you sure? Because your wife would appreciate it. And then he gives a dirty baseball player a wink. And then that character's wife shows up because he's like, no, my wife's happy. And that character's wife goes, no, I'm not. He's like, what? Next thing you know, he's chugging the pills, swinging a kettlebell. I don't want to lose my family. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much the commercial. And I'm not listen, I've traveled all across the country, and I've just noticed there's a bunch of jacked middle-aged dudes. And 10 years ago, there weren't. All right? 10 years ago, they would just tuck their shirts in, and that was it. And now they're all just, they got slick back hair, sleeve tattooed. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting jacked in your middle ages. Nothing wrong with that at all. What scares me about that is the trajectory of that, because that means eventually we're going to have ripped senior citizens. And that's terrifying. That's not how we grow as a species, just to have shredded elderly people. Can you imagine that? Just some 95-year-old with a six-pack, just bam, you like that? You like that? And you're like, not at all. Does that look good? It looks wrong, is what it looks like. Like the muscles are there, but the skin's all wrong. You know what I mean? Just looks like you threw a weathered tarp over a brick wall. Like, it's there, but it's wrong. Thinking about it, get some steroids. I don't know. I fly all the time. That's what I do. I'm a Delta man. Yeah, I got some Delta people here. Yeah, platinum medallion member over here. Hell yeah, what you at? Or do you have, what's your status? Silver? All right, yeah, you shouldn't even talk to me. All right? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You'll work your way up. Just keep at it. One day, you'll be next to me and the other platinums. Maybe one day you and I will both be diamonds and we'll really be crushing it. But the best part is you get free upgrades, because I can't afford a first-class ticket, but I can afford to sit in the back like 100 times. So if you fly enough, they bump you up to first class, which is great. But sometimes they bump you up to Delta Comfort, which is still cool. But the last time I flew, they put me in first row of Delta Comfort, which sucked because my entire viewpoint was just first class. It was weird. So I got to see them get everything I don't get. They just had a giant bucket of snacks and everyone got it, and then it came to me and they're like, whoop, all right. It was like I was in some sort of poverty purgatory where I'm like, it was like being at the trailer park all over again, and there's the gated community getting all their free handout. I'm like, what about me? And so I was sitting there kind of angry, and I was spying on the dude in front of me in first class. And I was watching while we were flying, he used the Wi-Fi to pay his American Express bill. And I'm like, that's lame, dude. That kind of responsibility is for row 32. Get out of here. First class is for fun. That's for drinks and woo, having a good time. And he's over there being responsible. And I'm not making this up for the joke. His American Express bill that he paid was $160,000. And he paid all of it, not even the minimum. He just paid all of it, and then he put his phone away like he didn't just do that. And I was like, that's my seat. Like, that guy should be on a private jet. What are you doing flying commercial? Get out. That's my free seat you're sitting in. And just for the record, I'm not saying this guy's evil because he's rich. I'm not saying that. I don't think being rich makes you evil. I think he's evil because when they came by with the snacks, he turned them down. And I'm like, oh, that's a villain right there. That's a bucket of snacks you don't even know about. You've never even seen these snacks at the store. They came by and he's like, no, thank you. And I'm like, that's the most evil man on the planet right there. Because that's the kind of self-discipline you need to one day close a community center. You know what I mean? That's the kind of self-discipline it takes to go, no, Nana doesn't play bingo here anymore. This is going to be a high-rise condo now.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour, so go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.